Right.
It's
Yeah.
just the truth.
Yes, and also too, and remember that when you watch any of these, and this is a little plug for because you also with getyourmeds.com, you also do a podcast as well.
Yes.
Is if you made it this far into the interview and then you're a fan of George, subscribe to his podcast,
Yes. Thank
leave
you.
him a comment, leave him a review, and do that after you subscribe to storycomic.com and leave a review.
Yes.
Welcome to Storycomic Presents, where we interview amazing storytellers and artists. This is episode 460. I'm your host, Barney Smith of Storycomic.com. I'm excited to have back with us the worldwide celebrated and talented comic creator, Jorge Medina. George.
How you doing, Barney?
Good. So this is like your third time. So you officially become friend of the show because
All right.
you've been on for 3 times. So
Nice. I love it. I love
see?
it.
So you'll get the logo. We'll send you instructions to your local tattoo parlor to get the tattoo of our logo and all that stuff.
That's right. I don't even get to choose where the tattoo goes, from what I understand. From like other.
That's true. Yeah. So it's you roll a dice, and then you'll decide where that goes, and you'll learn the secret handshake. So yeah, you'll be all set.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in. Say no more, Barney. Say no more. How you been, man? It's good to see you. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate this.
I know. So it's like every 150 episodes or so, you come on, you give us an update on what's happening with getyourmeds.com. And as I say, there is no moss growing on this Rolling Stone. You have been busy. You've been doing all kinds of stuff. I follow you on social media. And we last time you were on, we talked about Russ 5377. We talked a little bit. We talked about Wonder Duck before as well.
Right.
And you have a new character in the Get Your Medsiverse, I guess you could say.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the Shameless Plug.
So the Shameless Plug is my latest book. It's gonna be a 140-page graphic novel that
Wow.
will be coming out. It's coming to Kickstarter in October. October 7th is when it'll
Okay.
be out. There he is. The little guy's name is Pana, and he is the Shameless Plug. He's the imaginary friend of a young boy named Joaquin, who moves to the country, doesn't speak the language, is a little out of place, and doesn't fit in. And so he creates this imaginary friend to kind of like get him through it. And this little guy is going to teach him a valuable lesson that sometimes to fit in, all we have to do is be ourselves. And so that's going to be the story of the Shameless Plug.
So what inspired you to put this together?
So I came to the States when I was 7 years old. So the story is almost semi-autobiographical. It's not everything that happens, and it's loosely based on a true story. So one day I'm driving around. I do a lot of driving for work, and on my cup holder was a plug, little, like the iPhone plugs. It's just the head of the plug, and I looked at it, and as a creative person, everything sometimes, and you can attest to this, everything we see can be a story. Anything can be something else. So immediately my imagination transported me to, ooh, this looks like the head of a character. That would be cool if there was like some kind of plug character. And so I started thinking, and then I started, I do a show with my friend Sam Vera called Catch the Craze. And we had a segment on it called the Shameless Plug, where we would like kind of plug our friends and our buddies who also had other comics coming out. And I was like, oh shoot, this could be a cool story. What if this was this is the Shameless Plug? What if this guy was the Shameless Plug? So I quickly got home. I started writing down ideas. And originally he was going to live in a world of plugs. But then I was like, that's too generic. And then I decided, I've always wanted to write a story about my kind of like what it was like growing up in the States as a kid. And I was like, holy cow, what if this little Shameless Plug would have been my imaginary friend back in the days? What if he kind of walked me through that adventure that it was, fitting in and assimilating in a way to my new environment, the new, this culture that I was in there. And so that's how the story came about. And then I started writing it, and next thing you know, I had 140 pages worth of story about this kid who just kind of goes through these things in a new school with, finding new friends and trying to fit in. And it's my love letter to, I guess, my immigrant roots.
Is this a children's book? Is it an adult comic book? What's the audience for this?
It's YA, so young adults. So I
Okay.
think it's a coming of age story. The kid in the story is 9 years old, but we were talking about this before we came on. The term all ages. The way it reads, a kid, probably a 9 year old, probably would have a hard time reading it, only because of the amount of words on a page and things of that nature. But I think it's definitely more for, like, I would say maybe 12 and above. Um, and so, I kind of, that's the age group I'm going for, the young adults.
Is it like one graphic novel, or is this going to be like a series of an ongoing series of, like, as a floppies, or
So
what's happening?
it's an ongoing. I mean, it's not an ongoing story. I'm sorry. It's a 140-page graphic novel. Joaquin and Pana, they go on this adventure. He learns his lesson, and the story ends. The Kickstarter is going to have the first chapter, which is a 40-page chapter, and that's what I
Okay.
will be kickstarting in the fall. But the book is going to be the complete book is going to be 140 pages. I'm not going to do a second Kickstarter for the second chapter, the third chapter, the fourth chapter. What I'm going to do is, once this campaign is done, I'm then going to go ahead. I mean, I'm going to go ahead with the book regardless. So the book will be out. I'm saying August of next year. Right now, I have about 100 and no, I have about, by the time this airs, I should have about 90 pages already done of the
Wow.
140. So the book is definitely coming out. The Kickstarter is just kind of like to kind of like help me recoup some of the stuff that I've put out already for the first chapter of the book. So if you guys are thinking about pledging, definitely follow the campaign, but know that the book is finished. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of copies of it here. Here's the book. This is it.
Okay.
This is These are the 40 pages full color, and so the book is done. I'm going to have right now. At this point, I have 3 covers that I'm offering in the campaign, and I want to give a big shout out to not only Joseph Olesko, who's the author. I mean, not the author, the artist on the book, but also Chris Madd, who did the alternate cover, and this is the alternate cover of the book. Make it a little cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, really, really cool. So I'm going to have that available. I'm also going to have that as a virgin cover. So the stuff will be in the back, but the cover will be just the plug itself. So
Okay. And you said, who was the artist for that?
Joseph Olesko. He
Okay.
is he's an artist. He's located out in the Philippines. He actually worked with me. I've been working with Joseph for years. I mean, he started working with me since I did my Wonder Duck book. He's the artist of my
Okay.
Wonder Duck book. So yeah, we have a very good relationship, and I love working with him. He's quick, and he's on time, and he's an amazing artist. I mean, his artwork really fits what I'm trying to do.
What kind of research and studying did you have to do to get this together?
I did. So what I did was, it's funny because the research that I did, it's almost like a period piece, because I came here in the 80s.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of like go back to that era. It was kind of tough to do it. Here's the tough thing about working with an artist who maybe is of a different era, and we're in completely different places. So I'm in the States, he's in the Philippines. So it's not like we can sit down and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And so it's kind of like almost like an alternate reality, 1980s. But I definitely went back to like images of like Ecuador back in the 70s, because my parents were in Ecuador in the 70s. So that was kind of cool to kind of go back. I asked my mom for like pictures of me as a kid. And it's so the research was more personal rather than what you would normally do for, say, for example, if you're writing something about, forensic science, something like that. Like, but I did do research on imaginary friends. And it was interesting to find that a lot of kids kind of create these imaginary friends as a coping mechanism. Whenever they're in distress or they're not comfortable in a situation, they create these little characters to kind of help them through whatever it is that they're going through. And so I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting, you know. So obviously the imaginary friend angle of the Shameless Plug and Bana came in, and I thought the story came together really nicely once I added that kind of like just magic into the story, you know.
What is your hope that people will get out of reading this?
I think my hope is that kids who come here for the first time and maybe feel like they don't belong or are made to feel like they don't belong, they find solace in the fact that they do. That just because they're here and that they're not from here doesn't mean they don't belong here. But I also hope that they understand that part of belonging is, yeah, being ourselves, but also trying to understand that the kids that are there with you, they want to be your friends, but you also have to give yourself, you know, like learn the language, you know,
Mm.
don't just be so, oh no, it's my, you know, if you're from a certain place, no, I will never get, you don't have to give that up. I'm from Ecuador. I'll be Ecuadorian for the rest of my life. That doesn't go away. But when I came to this country, one of the first things I wanted to do was learn the language because I wanted to communicate. I wanted to speak with the kids. I wanted to play with the kids. And how do I do that? Luckily, sports was something that I found that I loved growing up in Ecuador, playing soccer and all that other stuff. So that was like a common language with the kids here. And that kind of saved me from a lot of situations as a kid where, like, just because I knew how to play the sport, they were like, oh, that's cool, let's play. But I always wanted to learn how to communicate outside of that. So my hope is that we understand that, listen, we all have to work to kind of fit together. You know, it's that kind of thing.
Mm. Now, how because you also mentioned too, we also talked earlier about Wonder Duck as well, and you're still working on Wonder Duck. So Wonder
Yes.
Duck is also now how what skills, say like writing skills or just content creator skills, have you picked up putting together the same Shameless Plug that you are now utilizing in your other works?
When I started creating comics, I think the one thing that I realized after the fact that I should have used was an editor, right? Because when I first started doing comics, I was like, all right, I'm gonna write this thing, I'm gonna draw this thing, I'm gonna put it out and sell it, and it's gonna be great. And then there were typos and plot holes and things that didn't make sense because in my mind it was done, but there
Mm.
always needs to be that other set of eyes looking at the book. So what I've learned from working uh, with the Shameless Plug, because an editor for the Shameless Plug, Lori Cunningham was the editor. L.A.
I
Cunningham,
know,
she
Laurie.
actually, you know
Yeah.
her, she actually did the editing for my book. And I thought that was very important because sometimes we can't see the forest from the trees when we're writing these stories. And so it's nice to have a different set of eyes to take a look at the book, at the story itself. And I think that I'm incorporating that. And if I was to write, which I'm planning and I'm thinking about writing more stories for Wonder Duck, I'm going to use that. Use the editor, which sounds like, duh, George, what are you talking about? This isn't, isn't rocket science. Of course you need an editor, but I think that sometimes when we work in isolation, when we're doing comics for ourselves, we don't realize that there's a team behind all this thing, and you need to kind of like let people read your stuff and say, "Hey, is this sounding right? Because it sounds right
Mm.
in my head, but is it making sense?" So yeah, that
Right.
was definitely a big thing that I learned, and I'm using now.
Now, is this because of all of your other series that you put together? Um, is the Shameless Plug in the Wonder Duck universe, or is this separate?
Not yet. So this is funny. So I don't. He's not. But Wonder Duck is in his universe.
Okay.
So as once the book is done, you guys will see on future pages. Actually, there are a few things that are in that world. I have a page in the book where Bana and Joaquin are at a supermarket and they're on a spinner rack. They're looking at a spinner rack. So I contacted a couple of my buddy comic book friends and I said, "Hey, do you want? Can I put your cover of your comic on the spinner rack?" So they're in the universe. So some of my comic book friends have their comics on that spinner rack.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
Joaquin plays with Wonder Duck toys. You know, those are the toys from that universe. So yeah, so they've made it into his universe because Wonder Duck and obviously Russ were created prior to the Shameless Plug. He's not, but I do like to do that. I do like to throw little Easter eggs into the world.
Well, hey there. If you're enjoying our podcast, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep this show going. We love hearing from you, so any feedback is welcome. And thank you for being a part of our podcast family and for all your support. It truly means a lot to us. As of this recording, like the Fantastic Four came out, and there has been a rekindling of Jack Kirby. People have been talking a lot about Jack Kirby. Now, with Wonder Duck and Russ 5377, and now with Shameless Plug. And one of the things that Jack Kirby said is that he always leaves a little piece of himself in his characters. What piece of George is in the Shameless Plug and is in Wonder Duck and it is in Russ 5377?
In Russ, I think the piece of me that's in Russ are Russ's friends. When I created Russ, I was in college, and I had a couple of friends that are still buddies of mine. So they are in that book. Their personalities, our chemistry, the way we dealt with that's in that book. Wonder Duck is my childhood. It's me. It's my love for the cartoons of the early 90s as a kid. In the Shameless Plug, I think that's got the most of me because it's Joaquin is almost, it's a version of me. It's not me, but it's a version of me. So that's the piece of me that's in that book, is how he views the world and how I viewed the world at the time when I was about that age. So
okay.
Yeah, good question. That's a really good question. This is what I like about coming on the show, Barney. You ask these really good, intriguing questions. I love it.
Now, what's the one thing that you want people to know about the Shameless Plug?
I think what I want them to know is that this isn't a political story. I'm not trying to push any agenda or anything like that. This is a story about a kid who doesn't fit in. I think a lot of us feel that way. You don't have to be from another country to go into a new school and not fit in. You could be going from 7th grade or 8th grade to high school and feel like you don't fit in. You could be going from high school to college and feel like you don't fit in. You could be moving from Vermont to New York and feel like you don't fit in. So I think that's what I want people to know, that this isn't, oh yeah, the current climate is this, so of course he's going to do an immigrant story. Now, I've been working on this story since 2020, I don't know, 2019, 28. Like, so this isn't a story that just happened because of what's going on. But as you know, comics take a long time to create. So I couldn't have possibly said, oh, that's what's happening right now, let me put that out right now. No, it took me years to write this thing and make sure that it was right. It's just coming out now at a time where, it kind of like, it's weird how that happens sometimes. Those things are going on and these stories kind of hit. So,
all right. So in order to make this evergreen, let's say someone's listening or watching this interview 5 years from now. Where can they pick up the Shameless Plug?
The Shameless Plug can be picked up. Now, we were talking about this sooner. Unless Scholastic or somebody picks it up, you will always be able to get it from my website at getyourmeds.com. Or I do shows throughout the country. You can always find me at a show. I hopefully at a store near you, if I can get some distribution going. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. It is a graphic novel, so hopefully at a Barnes & Nobles, because it will be a book. It's not just going to be a comic. So there's places where, but definitely getyourmeds.com. That you can assure you can find it there.
That's right. And you mentioned like getyourmeds.com. That is get your meds, but meds is spelled MEDZ. .com.
Yes.
And right there, you can go there right now and you can hit the shop button and you've got, you can pre-order right here, pre-order today. The shop right there. You also got the Adventures of Wonder Duck.
Yes.
Right there as well. And then Russ Anniversary Edition, 25th Anniversary Edition is right there for $25 right there. And that is through our friends at ASAP Imagination is where you can get that there too.
Correct.
Yeah, all the Russ is there. All the Wonder Ducks there. You can get a Wonder Duck T-shirt.
Cheers.
You can get a Wonder Duck tank top, which anybody who's going to the beach needs to be wearing a blue Wonder
Yes.
Duck
Yes.
tank
Sun's
top.
out, guns out. Let's go. Let's
That's
go
right,
get these
man.
things.
That's right. Yeah, and also too when you're going out for, you're going out to dinner with your spouse or your significant other, putting on a long sleeve T-shirt that says "Believe Nothing" with sweatshirt is going to be incredibly important. So
That's right. Believe nothing.
believe
Get
nothing.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have a few things on the website, so definitely go check it out. The shop is chock full of nuts.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. And have you ever heard? So this is a New England. Have you ever heard the term chucker block? Have you ever heard of that term
No,
chucker block?
no.
Okay, so this is I do this a lot when I went, and I tell people it's chucker block full. So if you look up I think it's chuck a block. It's the way you pronounce it. It is chuck a block. Definition meaning. Okay, so here it is for you. Um, so when you're saying that it's something full of something, right here,
Uh-huh.
it is considered chock a block, which means it's very full,
Very full. Didn't
brought
know that.
close together. Yes, yeah.
Chocolate block. Ahoy,
Uh,
mateys.
Yes, it's more often used by landlord. Chock block has a nautical history on the board of sailing vessels. Chock can refer to a wedge or block that is pressed up against an object to keep it from moving. On land, wheel chocks. Well, that's where you think you put a block
Yeah,
underneath your tire.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So chock
Interesting.
full. Also, chock also means chock full of something. Like chock full of nuts means it's full.
Full.
So when
Yeah.
something is chock a block, it means it's like full. Like you can't move it. It's so full you can't move it. So there's a
No.
little thing for you there. So that's why I'm saying that if you go to getyourmeds.com/shop, it is chock-a-block
Chocolate
full
block full of, yes.
of
Make it
of
even
of
better.
things that you can get that you'll have an entire wardrobe and an entire library full of
Yes.
get your meds information if they're that. So there you go.
There you
So
go. There you
yeah.
go. That
Yeah.
makes so much sense, Barney. There you go. There you
It's a little little trivia for you there. But yeah, this is great. So Shameless Plug is coming out soon, and as you say, through Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter is there just to get it started, and then
go.
that's for the first 40 pages,
That's right.
and after that, for instance, somebody gets to 40 pages, and the only way they're going to read the rest of the story is if they go back and buy the graphic novel later, so that they're going to end up having 40 pages that they've already purchased. Are they going to end up having just that, or are you going to have something that's separate that's going to be like um 41 on for those that already bought the
Yeah, so
Kickstarter?
so what I'm doing, and what I'm doing on a Kickstarter, for example, is, so obviously when it comes to Kickstarter, the more pledges, or the more people pledging, the better it is for the Kickstarter. So what I'm going to do is,
Right.
to reward, if you tell a friend or whatever, they come on with you. Every 25 backers, I'm going to be raffling off almost like a golden ticket. And I did this for Wonder Duck, where a random person will get a free copy of the entire thing, in their package, to pick up either whenever I'm at a convention, or I'll send it out to you separately. So you will get that, and the graphic novel, once it comes out, will have additional things that obviously the single issue won't have, and that will just become a collector's item. The other thing I wanted to say was, some people may say, "What the heck is Kickstarter?" I don't know what the hell that is. It's a crowdfunding campaign. Yes, you do have to sign up for it, but if you don't want to sign up for a Kickstarter, you can pre-order the book from me. So that's why that pre-order option is on my website. You don't have to sign up for
Gotcha.
anything. You can just, hey, I
Okay.
want that book. How do I get it? pre-order it from me. It's going to be released at the same time as when the Kickstarter ends, which will be, it's a 30-day campaign. So it'll be shipped out to you sometime around Christmas. So you will be getting it for the holidays. So if you pre-order it, you can get it that way. The only thing that differs from pre-ordering and the Kickstarter is that you don't have the option to get the covers, the alternate covers, because that's a Kickstarter exclusive. But
there's other, as you said, there's other exclusives that are going to be along with that too.
Yeah, there's going to be stickers and things of that nature, you know, stretch goals and things like that. That, you know, obviously Kickstarter does. But again, if you just want to read the book, you can pre-order for it. You can pre-order the book right now from my website. So if you go to getyourmeds.com and you go to the shop, the very first one at the top, that you can pre-order the book there.
You know what? And I got to say this too, George. What I love about the Shameless Plug is it is so easy to cosplay the Shameless Plug.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
It's a cardboard box and you just you take some aluminum foil things and make those prongs. Make prongs on it.
Yep. If
it's
you got
brilliant.
A vest, an orange shirt, and some white gloves, and you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Plug. You're the Shameless Plug. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see you at some shows, Barney, dressed up as a Shameless Plug.
Dressed up like the Shameless Plug, yeah.
Walking around.
Excellent. So George, congratulations. I was excited to have you come back on, and we always have great I always learn something new, and I always you always have interesting topics, and the creativity, man. You are chock-a-block full of so many creative ideas.
I see what you did there. Thank you, Barney. I really, really appreciate it, man. I thank you so much. I love coming on, and I know, and this is the thing, I know that, and this is for everybody, right? Like, if you are trying to come on these shows to promote your stuff, don't wait a week before you're putting your stuff out. Let these guys know. Come early. Let them know, hey, listen, I got some stuff coming out. Give them a chance to put you on, because otherwise you won't get you know, it's just the truth.
Yes. And also too, and remember that when you watch any of these, and this is a little plug because you also with getyourmeds.com, you also do a podcast as well.
Yes.
Is if you made it this far into the interview and then you're a fan of George, subscribe to his podcast, leave him a comment, leave him a review, and do that after you subscribe to storycomic.com and leave a review.
Yes. Don't forget to do that, please.
Yes.
Please. Oh, man. This is too
excellent.
Much fun. Thank you, Barney, so much for having me, man.
Yeah, so don't be a stranger. You gotta come back on. Did we ever do a team up with you? I've been on you and Sam's show.
Yeah. Once. No, we haven't.
Have you guys been on together as a team?
No. We need to come on as a team. We'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell Sam how to do that. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks again, George, for coming on.